This is a sample output of what we will achieve at the end of this section. The ability to toggle LED 0 on and off from a push button. Program with CODESYS. In the previous part, we have seen how to get started with Cytron IRIV PiControl and CODESYS. Now we would like to see how to add a digital input to the device and monitor its status through the visualization features in CODESYS. Digital inputs are used to monitor the on and off or high-low states of external devices or sensors, such as push button, limit switches, proximity sensors, and other similar devices. These inputs are typically wired to the PLC's input modules, which convert the electrical signals from the external device into a digital signal that the PLC can process. The PLC consists of multiple input channels, each corresponding to an individual input point. Each channel is connected to a specific digital input terminal on the PLC. The module provides isolation and protection for the PLC's internal circuitry. When the external devices associated with a digital input is activated, for example, a switch is pressed, a sensor detects an object, etc., the digital input module sends a corresponding signal to the PLC's central processing unit, CPU. The CPU then processes this input information and executes the program logic based on the detected state. In PLC programming, digital inputs are typically used as triggers or conditions for various control functions and detection-making processes. For example, a digital input may be used to start or stop a motor, activate an alarm, control a valve, or initiate a specific sequence of operation. It's important to note that digital inputs are binary in nature, meaning they can only detect two states, on, high, or off, low. They're not suitable for continuous varying analog signals, which requires analog input modules for accurate measurements and processing. To complete this part of the tutorial, we will need the following hardware: Cytron IRIV PiControl, 24-volt DC power supply, momentary push button, and 22 AWG hookup wire. The wire connection between the hardware pieces is as shown on screen now. Software. Open CODESYS and open the IRIV CODESYS tutorial project first created during the simple LED toggle with Cytron IRIV PiControl part. Double-click the PLC PRG. This opens the window for structured text programming. Type in two lines of variable declaration in line 3 and line 4, start : bool and LED : bool. In the separate logic implementation section, type in an if statement as shown on screen now. If start, then LED equals false, else LED equals true, and if. Right-click on the GPIO and choose Add Device. Choose GPIO 1-bit, entering GPIO 13 for the name, and click Add Device. Referencing the IRIV PiControl datasheet, the digital input 0 port is mapped to GPIO 13. Double-click on GPIO 13 to bring up the configuration window. In the GPIO 13 configuration window, select the first tab, GPIO SysFS module parameters, to configure and assign the GPIO direction, GPIO pin number, and current pin state. Next, go to the GPIO SysFS module IO mapping and assign the start variable accordingly, as shown on screen now. Double-click on the GPIO 20 to bring up its configuration window. Next, go to GPIO SysFS module IO mapping and assign the LED variable accordingly, as shown on screen now. Once we're done with configuring the GPIO, we can now set up the visualization. Right-click on Application and click Add Object and choose Visualization. When a window pops up, tick the active box and click Add. A visualization window will appear. First, choose lamps, switches, bitmaps, and drag a lamp and a power switch from the right to the center. Note, if you don't see the items below the categories, click on the small up arrow below the categories. Now we want to configure the lamp. Click on the lamp, then select the three dots next to the variable in the Properties pane. Expand Application, expand PLC PRG, select LED, and click OK. Now we want to configure the power switch. Click on the power switch, then select the three dots next to variable in the Properties pane. Expand Application, expand PLC PRG, and select Start. Click OK. Click the Generate Code button. When you see the message Build Complete, 0 errors, 0 warning, ready for download, the Generate Code was successful. Note, if you encounter compilation errors like cannot convert type, you can try to go to the Build menu from the top toolbar and then click Clean All. Then acknowledge the pop-up window by clicking Yes. Next, we want to log into the IRIV PiControl to online mode. First, we need to double-click the Device CODESYS control for Raspberry Pi. The device configuration window will open. In the communication setting window, click on Scan Network. First, select Cytron IRIV PiControl under Gateway and click OK. Type in admin for the name, admin for password, and then click OK. If you use custom particulars for the name and password, use your custom particulars instead. Next, click the Login button. When this window pops up, click Yes. Click the play button. Double-click on visualization from the leftmost pane to return back to the visualization. And now it's ready. When the momentary push button is pressed, the LED 0 on IRIV will turn on. When the momentary push button is not pressed, the LED on IRIV will not turn on. Before ending, click the 2 button highlighted on screen now to safely log out.